All right, this is going to be an example of a product structure using the child stool product. So we have the example on the screen here, and then I have an actual child stool. So quick overview of the stool. This is a stained and it's been clear coated, so it's got like a coating on the outside. So this is the finished product. If we look at this, we're going to go from left to right as we normally would, and I'm going to start, artificially building the items as we go. So the first thing we see here is we have the top, and I can see that the top is made from stock wood is what we call it. So the first thing I'm going to need is stock wood. I've got some blank of wood right here. So whenever you call out a raw material, when you have anything at the bottom of the list, it just means in whatever state it comes in. So this is a piece of wood. You can't control anything about it. It's literally exactly like this. Something like wood is going to be in this format, and then we have screws. So these screws would be exactly as the screw would be. So when you say I need one screw, it means this exact screw. When you say you need one piece of wood, you can't have wood in a unit of one, but this would be one piece of wood. So the first thing it tells me is I need a 16-inch long by 6-inch wide piece of wood. So I'm going to take this wood and I'm going to get one unit of it. I need one 16 by 6-inch unit of wood to make my part. So this will make more sense in a second, but I'm going to take and cut this and turn it into the top. So when it goes from here up to become the top, it's going to go from, I'm going to take 16 by 6 inches of this, and I'm going to turn it into the top. So the actual top has a logo engraved on it. There's not one on that one. That student didn't get to it. So typically there'd be a logo engraved right in the middle of here. So this would be the top. This is the simplest part we have. Very few processes were done. The next item we have is the apron. So the apron is also made up of a piece of stock material. So I'm going to take, again, this is all the wood you need to produce one stool, by the way. So this is all the material you'd be given. As a student, we would usually cut it into 3 chunks so it would fit in your locker, but it would say you need 16 by 2, I believe. So 16 by 2 inches of material, which would look like this. So this is 16 by 2 inches. And it says that there are 2 aprons. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 of these at once. I have 2 16 by 2 inch blocks of wood that I cut out of this. This is not a usable part. This is just 16 by 2 inches. We've done nothing to it. What it's literally saying is you need 16 by 2 inches of material from this board. So I need 16 by 2 inches of this to make the part. You're never going to actually give this part a name. This is 16 by 2 inches of oak, or poplar in this case. So I need 16 by 2, and then that would give me my apron. I need 2 aprons, so I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 of those. So there are my 2 aprons and my top. Now that I have that, I have one top and I have apron. I have 2 of those. I also need some glue at this stage. So I'm going to take these items right here. I'm going to combine these together to make the top assembly. So you can see the logo on this one. We didn't use this one obviously because the logo is shifted off. So now this is the top assembly. So that is this component. And then there's one of these, so there's one top assembly needed. It's made up of a top and 2 aprons as well as some glue. So now this is the finished part we just got done with. I'm going to move to the next item. So I'm going to work on the leg assembly. I can see here that there are 2 leg assemblies. So I'm going to make 2 of everything that we're looking at here. So the leg assembly consists of 1 leg, a glue block, some glue, and some screws. So before I can do anything, I have to first make the leg out of some stock again. So I'm going to take my same piece of stock. I'm going to cut off a section of this. So on the product structure, it says wood stock, that's this piece right here, I'm going to transform that into this piece. You can see this has a lot of operations done on this. So it started off with the wood, now we have a leg. As mentioned earlier, so there's one leg per leg assembly, but we need 2 total leg assemblies. So I'm going to go ahead and make 2 of these. So 1 leg assembly needs 1 leg. I need 2 leg assemblies, so I know I'm going to need 2 of those. The next item on the list, I'm going to take, again, this block of material. I'm going to transform it into a glue block. So this is my glue block. Again, you can see there was processes done. None of those are noted on the product structure. It literally just says, take wood, make glue block. So there's the wood, there's the glue block. Again, we need 2 leg assemblies total, so I'm going to make 2 glue blocks when I do so. I have this finished, I have this finished. Now I'm going to need some glue, and I need 2 screws. So for this one, we're going to use these screws right here. Oops. And then again, we're making 2 of these. So there's 2 screws for this one, 2 screws for this one. And I'm going to take the glue again. So now we're just looking at 1 leg assembly. I'm going to take the glue, 2 screws, the glue block, and the leg. Combine all that to make 1 finished leg assembly. And then again, we need 2 total leg assemblies. So I'm just going to do everything a second time. So these are the 2 finished leg assemblies. So now we have this done. We have this done. The next item is the brace. The brace is made from 12 inches by 3 inches of our board again. So we're going to have probably cut at this point, halfway across the board. There'll just be a little bit left on the end. But any piece of poplar that is at least 12 inches by 3 inches will make a brace. So I'm going to cut on the product structure. It says, let's get rid of these. On the product structure, I'm going to take the wood. I'm going to transform it into the brace. So now that we've done that, we have the finished brace. So that's done. Glue we have right here. So we had wood screws right here, and we can see wood screws right here. This is the same name. It means it's the exact same item. So now I need 4 wood screws. So I've got those. I need pocket screws. So it has a different name. That means it's a different item. These are a different type of screw. These screws are for this sideways hole. This is called a pocket hole. And then these screws go into the hole right here, and that screws the leg into the bottom of the top. For some detail explanation there. Then we also need stain, which I'm not going to show, or clear coat, which I'm not going to show. So I've got all of these items laying right in front of us. And then at this point, the product is ready for final assembly. You have to have all of these items to do the final assembly, and that's why all of these items are listed on the top row. When you're in Capstone, we allow you to do these 2 in the same row for simplicity. None of the projects we have in class, I'm going to make any alterations. So in reality, this should all be like a sub-assembly, and then you would mix it with the stain and the clear coat. But this is the only time we allow this. So you're not allowed to do this on your project. So these items right here are all needed to make the next step. I can't do it without any of them. You can't do it in any other order. So I need these items. I have them all right here. And then basically, I'm going to take these. I'm going to put glue on here, put them down in, take these screws and screw it together, which these ones won't fit right. Neither one of them do, which is fine. So you'd imagine this is being screwed down. I also need this to set the spacing at the same time. So I would set the spacing screw them down, and then last I would add these screws to these holes and screw it all together. So that would be the finished assembly. Once I've done that, I would have one child stool finished.